Hello, I am Wade Girard, owner and creator of Middletwin, software for car clubs and car shows. Today I wanted to show you our new judging that we have built in for car shows. So you can set up judging for your car show. You can set up judges forms with criteria, and then your judges will be able to go out and judge cars using the forms that you create. So we'll start out by going into the show settings. And from inside here in the show settings, we have this new voting section. So if you come down to the voting section, you have three different options. One is ballot voting, and ballot voting is for car shows that want to use printed ballots and have participants or spectators fill out printed ballots, and then have people enter in the values from the printed ballots into the Middletwin system to calculate the number of votes per car. We also have mobile ballot voting, which is it does the same type of thing as paper voting. The only difference is that your participants and spectators, rather than filling out a piece of paper, you would give them a QR code, and then they would scan that with their phone, and then they would fill out the ballot using their phones, and then submit it. And then so all the ballots get automatically put in from their phones, so you don't need to do the step of manually entering in all that data yourself. And then the last one, this new one, is our judge voting. So if you set up judge voting, I'll also point out when you use ballot voting or mobile ballot voting, you can actually specify more than one vote per class. So if you want people to be able to vote for more than one car in each class, you can just specify the number of cars up to 10 that you want to allow them to vote for. But if you go to judge voting, you'll be presented with the URL. This is the judge's URL. So you don't want to make this public. This is only for your judges to use when they're judging, and it's only good for this particular car show. So if you have another car show in the future, the URL will be different. So don't use it for multiple car shows. Only use it for the car show it's for. But once you've turned on judged voting and you save your event, you come out, you'll now see this judging icon here, and this is the form builder. This allows you to create judging forms and add criteria to them, and also set up judges. And so we'll go ahead and we'll create a form, and so we'll start out, the form will have no criteria to begin with, but we'll set one up. So I'll just call it the example judging form. And then we can add criteria to it. And we have built in some common criteria that we found that is pretty common to use for car shows. So we'll just go ahead and add a paint criteria and add that to the form. And it'll show you the min score and the max score and the weight, for this particular criteria. And it'll also, here's the title, so you can change the title if you want. And then here's some notes that you can provide for your judges. And so I'll just leave this here. I'll add another criteria. Let's say we also want our judges to judge the cars on the body exterior. We can add this. And one thing you'll notice is it was added. It also has a min and max of 10, but the weights changed. And so what the system will do is it'll automatically adjust the weights so that they total 100. But you can reset these to whatever you want them to be. But the system just does that automatically whenever you add a new criteria. So now if I add another one, engine modifications, and add that, you'll see we now have 134, and then the other two are 33 to equal 100. And so you can add all the criteria that you want. You can adjust their positioning, so you can move them up and down using these buttons. If we want the body and exterior to be the first thing in the list, then that'll be there. And then once you're all done setting this up, you can click Save, and now we have our new example judging form that we've created. And then next over here this is where the judges are. And so you can create and add judges, and what you'll need whenever you add a judge is you'll need to specify their name and their telephone number, and it needs to be a mobile number that's capable of receiving a text message, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then the other piece of information that your judges will need is their ID. And so every time you add a new judge, they'll get a new ID, and then they'll need that when they're doing judging. So that's how you set up judging forms and judges. And once all that's set up, now you can give that URL, the one that was over here, you can give this URL to your judges, or you can give them the QR code and they can just scan it with their phone. And now I'm going to come over here. So this over here, this is what the judges will see when they go to that URL. It'll come up, it'll specify the car show, and it'll say judging form. And then they need to start out with that judging ID. So if you remember, the ID was 3. And then I'll click send verification code. And what's happening now is it's going to send a 7-digit code to my phone. And I'm going to come over on my phone and I'm going to enter the code that I just received. And submit that verification code. And so that worked. And so now I'm logged in and I can actually see the judging form. I'm going to reload the page because that new form that we created. And I'll redo this one more time. Every time they come to this page, they'll have to basically re-verify themselves. And the reason why is you don't want this URL to get out and for everybody to be able to come inside here and do judging. You want it to be only judges that can do it. But if they stay in the form at this point after getting verified and not leave not like reload the page, then they won't have to do that until they do reload the page. So, but we'll go to the form that I created. So we can see here's our judging form, and it's pretty simple. Just enter in the car number. So your judges would enter in the number of the car that they're going to vote for. I'm going to vote for car number 105, and then here's the inputs, and it automatically puts in the highest value. And then they just type in the value that they want. So let's say the body on this is a 9. Let's say the paint is well, let's say it's also a 9. And then engine modifications, let's say that they're probably an 8. And then what we can do here is we can say submit scores, and we'll get a little message that says your scores for 105 have been accepted. And then it clears out the form. So the car number disappeared and the scores got reset. And now, if as a judge, I can now enter in another car number and vote for that car. But if I try to vote for the same car again, and if I hit submit scores, it's going to say your scores for 105 were not accepted. Reason, you've already judged 105. So they can only vote for a car one time. So, but yeah. And so that's pretty much it. And then once all the judges have finished all their voting, you'll come back into the admin system, and you can close this out, and you can go to the results, and it will show you the results of the cars by class. And it will show the average and the total of the scores from all the judging. And so, yeah, pretty straightforward. And it also continues to put the People's Choice Awards on here too. So if you want to use People's Choice along with judged, you can. All you have to do is make sure that you include the People's Choice QR code on the dash card so that people can vote for cars using their phones. So, but that's it for judging. We're pretty excited about it. It's our new feature. And hopefully you'll find it handy for your car shows. Thank you.